Hi there, this is taken from my monthly watchlist series. If you want to see the full thing, the link's in the description. Cheers. Star Trek Beyond. The reboot trilogy is actually my first experience of a Star Trek, unless we count that one episode of Futurama where the original cast are all exiled from Earth and there is the worst Welsh accent in perhaps anything ever.
Aye, dwi wedi medlu'n chwil.
That is not Welsh. But I've always liked the optimistic future that the show takes place in. Gene Roddenberry created a show that was very progressive, explicitly anti-war, and discussed themes of racism, sexism, and anti-authoritarianism. Wow, Star Trek woke now? Woke Star Trek in my Star Trek? Gene Wokenberry? Anyway, in 2009, J.J. Abrams directed the first in a new film series. Star Trek is a pretty good sci-fi romp, with the most exceptional aspect being the amazing cast that they assembled. Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Carl Urban, Zoe Saldana, John Cho, Anton Yelchin, and of course, Simon Pegg. This is just a perfect recasting of the original characters. I couldn't think of anyone else I'd rather be playing these roles. Then, in 2013, JJ returned to direct the sequel, Star Trek Into Darkness. While some interesting themes are brought up, like when is it okay to interfere with a culture's evolution, should you let Spock die for the greater good, but it's kind of dropped after the first scene, and the rest is perhaps a bit too overdramatic and tonally dark. The title did warn us, but still. Also, it features a really weird trope where a woman starts changing for no real reason, just so a character, and by extension the camera, can creepily stare at them. Like, why is this here? It does nothing for the story, it's just to have a sexy thumbnail. Then, 3 years later, we got the peak of this series, Star Trek Beyond. This time round, directing duties have fallen to Justin Lin, director of 5 Fast and the Furious movies, and it's written by Doug Young and Simon Pegg. Star Trek Beyond is exactly what I want out of a Trek film. It's just an adventure. The crew get into a conflict, they have to resolve it, there's a well-respected actor in heavy alien makeup. Good old American fun. The script pairs a lot of the characters up, which helps to streamline the cast. Spock and Bones, Uhura and Sulu, Kirk and Chekhov, and Scotty and newcomer Jayla, who's played by Sofia Boutella. Beyond feels very much like a big budget version of a cheap 60s TV show. Like, I love that the main planet that the crew are trapped on is designed to look like it's a set. Like, it looks cheap and fake, but that adds to the charm as the film isn't taking itself super seriously. And then, later on, Sabotage by the Beastie Boys is used, not just as a callback to the first film, but for actual plot reasons. Horribly, it's one of the last films Anton Yelchin did, as he died a month before the film's release. It's awful what happened to him. If you want a full retrospective of his life, watch Love, Anatosha. It's a really great documentary. But I'm glad they made a direct tribute to Anton in the film itself. They've spoken about maybe doing a 4th movie a bunch of times, but it keeps starting and stopping. So if this is the last they do, then they go out on a high note.